Hey guys, I'm so excited because I'm about to show you guys a bit of a chat that I had with one of our clients, Tali, who is such a phenomenal human being, such an amazing coach with so much heart and passion, that was struggling massively, especially financially, to be able to make her coaching business work. In debt, struggling, had to borrow money from her family, and we broke that through. She made 28K in 3 months, which is a huge turnaround for her, and she's feeling so over the moon, so empowered and excited, but it came from set breakthroughs. And in this chat, I really dug deep for her to be honest about what made those transformations for her. What was it, honestly? Not just, yeah, I learned how to market, I learned how to sell, because that stuff's great, but it's more, what were the real transformations that she had to make to get results? And I really probed deep for that. So make sure that you check it out and go all the way till the end and enjoy that. Now, if you're watching this going, those results sound amazing and I want to emulate similar results, you want to speak to myself or one of our team, then go below and put your details in. If not, go and enjoy the case study. Just make sure that you go through the whole thing because it's full of content and value and information that if you apply into your coaching business, you will hit 7 figures fast. So I'll see you guys in there. Hey guys, and welcome to this amazing interview with the gorgeous Tali, who has been crushing results in this process so far. So the goal of this chat, because it's going to be a very chilled out conversation, is for us just to talk through her amazing results. Like Tali's made 7 sales so far, with 7 confirmed people, a few more that dropped out.
Yeah.
So we've got 7 confirmed in the process, which is awesome, into a 3K program, which is 4K program, my bad. So 28K in sales, which has been awesome over the last 6 or so weeks, 6, 7, something like that. You joined when Ben joined. Yeah, and I just did an interview with Ben, who's crushing it as well. So we just want to talk through what you've done to be able to break through, because we've got a long, amazing journey ahead, which is just going to be even better, and it's going to get better all the time. But for the guys watching, to be able to say, I made 28K is like a dream. And for you, it's a reality. So we want to talk through not just, yeah, this is awesome, but what was the legitimate challenges that because there's been lots, and there always is. What are the legitimate challenges that you've had throughout this process that we can talk about honestly? And I'll ask you some questions to prompt you. Cool. But we want to talk through not just the highs, but more importantly the downs, so that you guys watching can be like, awesome, I started from scratch. I'm starting from scratch. Here's what I need to look out for. Here's legitimately what I have to do. And if I do it, I'll get results as well. If you can get through those challenges. Obviously that's just perseverance. If you really want it, you'll do it. So give us a little bit of a overview to start, Tali, on where you were before you begun this process. So what were you trying? What was the go? And then I'll ask some more questions about the journey.
I think one of the biggest things for me was that I wasn't even starting from scratch. I was below zero, drowning in financially. So for me, that was one of the most scary things, and one of the things that I wanted to break through was a lot around the wealth mindset and really allowing myself to open up to receiving more abundance. And so I literally I've had so much debt, and I've been running my business for a year. I've been doing 9-week programs, working a lot in the business, not on the business.
Nice distinction there.
Yeah,
what's the
I
difference?
finally realised what that
In's
meant.
to the guys watching, In's the operations admin. It's the shit that needs to be done to keep it going, like content creation and for your clients. But and running courses and programs and all that stuff, that's operations, delivery. That's all has to be done to keep it going.
Yeah.
But the on the business is what drives it forward. That's marketing, sales, systems, hiring people, thought leadership, so putting yourself out there and getting big exposure. That's all the stuff that drives it. And that's what we need to spend time on to get financial results.
Yeah.
Which you know now.
Yes.
Like a mouse.
Like a mouse.
Awesome. So here's the thing. So you were below zero when we started, but the reason you were below zero, I just want the guys to know, because I really respect this, is that you took massive leaps of faith to follow your dreams. So that you were below zero because you chose to do your passion. If you didn't choose to do your passion, you could be in some dead-end job and have no debt. But you're in debt because you chose to do what you loved. Yeah. And that's why because most coaches come to us are in massive debt. Most do. And that's because there's not enough pain to try to seek a solution until they're fucked up for ages. Unfortunately, they don't just come usually right at the start of the journey. Usually they come after it's in a really shit situation. So they're in 50K, 80K, 100K debt, which is ridiculous. But I take a lot of pride in pulling people out of those situations because it happens. Because if you don't make money and you're dedicating all your time to being a coach, you've got no idea how to monetize it, so you're not working or doing other stuff, plus you're spending money on courses and shit like that and not doing anything, Like you're gonna get in debt very fast.
Yep. So I had a lot of that.
Yeah.
And
which is cool.
And had no idea how I was going to pay for the program. But I've always, like, when I felt that in my heart that I need to do something, that I know that there's going to be transformation on the other side, I like take that crazy leap of faith when other people say you're crazy, you don't even have the money to, like, that's something that I've always just done.
That's what I wanted to acknowledge you for.
Thanks.
For being in debt, because debt sounds like it's a real bad thing, like you were really hopeless or something. You weren't, you just didn't get business. And you ran this big event which kind of articulated what you do from a proficiency point of view and how you deliver your results to your clients. You did this big performance, which for me, I like when you told me that story in the Kickstart session, when we had our first session getting the niche clarity, like I was thinking in my head, this chick is a fucking beast. Like I couldn't wait to see you get results because of that, because I knew that same mindset that got you to do that in this program would have got you to get results. Like I already knew that from the start, so I knew we'd be doing this interview. Cool. Now, if not sooner, like, so that's why you're successful. Take that shit. Awesome. So that's where you were, and then what do you think changed? What was the big transformation that enabled you to start to get results towards the start of the journey that these guys might be, because these guys are there where you were right now, watching this in real time. This is where they are. So what was the first thing that you did that created the shift from there to you starting to get results?
I really wanted to be surrounded by people who were living it and breathing it, so that in the times that I didn't believe in myself, there were other people who could say, I've been there, you can do this.
Yes.
So being surrounded by you and just like the energy here and Zach and like watching the videos, just knowing that it's possible, then just like going hard out with, and then being given the tools of what to do, like breaking it down, like what are the steps. Cool, I have to do 30 Facebook Live videos, so every day it was like boom 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 Facebook Live, which you crushed. Thank you. Which that part didn't scare me, but it was like the structure, because I love the creativity, I love the fun stuff, but it's like actually getting it focused so it's not just all...
It's good that you knew that, because most people don't know they need that, but one thing that we do that's, for me, is the most important thing, because I know that I need it myself, is when people join, we get the structural clarity, so like niche, business model, price points, how you're going to run your program, when you're going to launch it, what your goal is, blah, 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 all the structure. But then it's like, here's your plan, do it.
Yes.
Like we trust our content more than you to come up with your own shit to do. This is our expertise. Like here's your plan. Tells you what content marketing, tells you what campaigns to launch. Just do this shit and you'll get results.
I just love the steps and how clear it was. Like do this, and it's like maths. It's like A plus B equals C.
Satisfying to get those answers.
So good, rather than like chasing my own tail.
I'm a fan of arithmetic. Anyway.
First time I've enjoyed maths.
Awesome. So the plan was there. So you think the big thing that created the breakthrough for you at the start was getting clarity?
Having clarity, having the focus.
The community it was, sorry.
The community, set goals. Like when I know what to do, like I'll do it, I'll take action on it. But when I'm like, I'll do a bit of this, do it, I feel like I'm not getting anything done. So having it broken down so clearly and you just saying, yep, your program's $4,000, it was like, oh, okay, cool.
I loved our session because I jumped in and had to retweak the niche because we both weren't 100% happy with it from your initial session that you did. So we had to rejig it, and that was an awesome, like getting that clarity was awesome. Like I think I left that session feeling so good, like we just nailed that so good. And getting that clarity on niche is like, it's everything, because without clarity you got no power. You feel like you're putting effort forwards in a direction that you don't resonate with. So yeah, that was awesome.
And also the order that you guys do it in, it's like take the action, the clarity like will come from that. That has been massive as well. Like starting to sell the programs and do it, and just trusting that everything is gonna like start to align, and it has.
And that's because we didn't have time really. Like there's pretty big urgency, like the debt's there. We can't fuck around. We needed to get results. And a lot of coaches kind of want to delay things. And it's like, even though like someone might be in 50K debt, and I'm like, cool, we're launching the course now, like you're making sales now, and they're like, oh, can I just build my content? I'm like, mate, that hurt. Surely you're feeling like there's urgency right now, because if I was in your situation, fuck, I'd be panicking. Like I'd be so driven to make sales. So
you just do it.
Yeah.
You just do it.
Because you have to.
Yeah.
Because if not, you'll get a phone call from Zachary Dickory.
I haven't had one of those. Like.
It's because you've been doing your shit, mate.
But I've loved also the morning ritual for me, and just the structure and the discipline of wake up, like start your day with that. That's been life changing. Which I already had other things in place, but that to go into the warrior state every morning, listening to Zach's voice.
You smashed it. Because when we did the Melbourne retreat, which we did recently, I gave you Siggy then. Like I was like, see, like significance, like you crushed that after I came up to you and I was like, you smashed that. Because you did. Like you actually properly warried it. And if you do so the ritual for the guys watching is, essentially I was in a 125K 12-month process where you learn the ritual. That's all you learn. Like that's how I got that knowledge. And now we reteach it. Now I kind of modified it a bit. And we teach it to all of our clients so that every single day essentially just brings the best version of you out, which is a combination of like your heart, combination of your warrior, like just getting the best version of you out and being so clear on what you need to do, because the best version of you can handle anything.
Yeah.
Like that's we know this, but it's just not often are we in that best state, whereas when you do the ritual, every day you're in your best state.
Yeah.
Like I notice that if I ever miss a day, which isn't very often, but if I do, I just can't operate at my peak. Everything's a struggle and I won't get a lot of things done. And then I'm just like, why? And then I'm like, fuck, ritual. Yeah. So it makes a massive difference. So what I want to do now is take a little bit of a look into the downs, because this is all awesome, like celebrating and shit, but there's been a lot of downs on the process as well, challenges, hurdles. So for you, because these guys watching, I want them to, as honestly as possible, understand what really has to happen to get results. And so for you, like, there's been moments that have been hard, overwhelm, fear, like everything. What do you think, like what have some of the key challenges that you've faced on this journey been that these guys could look out for? It could be strategic, so it could be like, oh, I really struggle with the sales and like backing myself, or program creation or technology or whatever it was.
A few things come to mind. The first one was the first stage of freak out, like massive fear. Like what the fuck about just one?
Hey, I've been dropping F-bombs. If you haven't noticed, left, right, and center.
Okay, cool.
That's what we do here.
It was just like, what have I just done? And just massive freak out in the beginning. So that was probably the first struggle. The money stuff for me, like the wealth mindset, and just opening myself to receiving and feeling confident that I am worthy of receiving that amount of money for the work that I do. So really upping that confidence in myself, that's been massive.
Did it help to see, because one of the big things you said was a breakthrough for you was being around other people doing it. Does it help to see like me and the other coaches in the group that are dominating and kind of look at them and just know, because you've met them, how normal they are, and like how normal, because I'm just normal. So for everyone, it's just like going, okay, they're just normal people and they're doing it, so fuck, I can do it.
Totally, because I like visioned it and dreamed about it and watched Tony Robbins and people that I look up to, but it felt so far away. It felt like there was such a massive gap between me and that. So this is like, it's right here. Like there are people that are right here who are living it. So that was massive for me. And then other struggles were like all the technical stuff, because I love the creativity, I love being in front of like all that sort of stuff was fine for me. But the technical stuff, like the click funnels and just really sticking with it and not shutting down and getting emotional. So the logical over emotional.
I'm sitting here going, don't forget the sexy six.
So
which is the 6 character traits that everyone has to take on board in the process, and one of them is in the face of challenges or changes, remain logical and be mature. not emotional. Which we're all going to do at the start, but it's about nipping it in the butt and then moving forwards.
And I remember Jake said that to me on our first initial call. He was like, what's going to be like out of the 6, like what's going to be a struggle? And I was like, probably like logic over emotional, because I'm very in my emotional and active, intuitive self. So that has been such a good thing. Like it's business and you just get it done. And if you have a problem, ask for help.
Yeah, totally. Because the emotions are normal, right? You're always going to feel up and down, but it's just you have to get yourself out of it quickly. Like Tony, T. Robbins, he talks about the fact that he doesn't really feel down, because when he does, 90 seconds is his rule to get out of it.
Cool.
So like for him, he's like, yeah, I feel down. I feel shit just like you do, but I only feel it max 90 seconds. It doesn't last for 3 months or my whole life or like a week. It's just like I get out of it. So you can totally do that, which you have done really, really well. What other challenges have you had? Because like I mentioned before, you've had like a couple of people drop out and stuff. Like there's always unexpected problems that come up. And one thing that you mentioned before was freaking out at the start. Now we've got this model that we call the coaching roller coaster that we pre-frame really hardcore at the start of the process, so people understand the hiccups in advance that they're going to go through. Stage 1's freak out, stage 2's money problems. Like you're gonna freak out because your cash flow is gonna go backwards before it goes forwards. Then learning the technical stuff like marketing and sales, and then you break through. And then you get all these rapid growth and epic results like you did, and then you go through a freak out. Which is all part of the journey that we pre-frame. And then the last step is just consistent growth, which everyone gets to, where you just like, you've wrote out all that shit, and now, every now and again you feel a little bit overwhelmed, but you're on a consistent journey in one direction, playing the long-term game without massive volatility in your emotions, and you're on a rock solid journey.
Yeah, it's just allowing it in, like when you've desired things to happen. I wanted money and I want this and I want, it's like, and then it comes, it's like, whoa, receive it, allow it in. And then also,
can we go a little bit deeper for a second, like for you, like what was actually going through your mind in terms of freak out? Like, because the guys watching are probably like, yeah, you freak out. Like what were you actually feeling with freak out when you joined this process? Because our program's $20K, so it's a premium program. So you have $385 coming out of your account every week because you weren't eligible for finance. A lot of people get approved for finance, and if they do, because we're partnered with Tony Robbins' finance company, and a lot of people get approved, that alleviates some financial pressure because the payments are less every week, but yours weren't.
Because I didn't have enough money to get approved for finance.
Yeah, so it was like
It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. But you're like, fuck it, because I know I'm going to make this work. And you got results. I think it was the first 2 weeks you definitely made a sale or two. What was it?
Yeah.
You got some good, quick results. I remember. It was exciting.
It was very fast. I think for me, it was like feeling that I'm deserving of it, that I have all the work that I do with the voices. It was just like hearing like, no one's going to want to do your program. It's not worth that much. Who do you think you are? Like all this sort of, talk that goes on, and just feeling like something around, the self-worth.
Because what I want to do is I do want to go back to the depth of the overwhelm at the start, just so people can kind of really understand how you got through that. But also just to give people an idea of what Tali does, which is I'm a massive fan, is voice work. So helping people understand the different kind of like self-personalities they have in their head that comes at a different time, like fear, like, you want to give some examples?
Yeah, so there's fear voice, there's inner child, there's your dreamer, there's your shadow, there's your doer, warrior, there's inner wisdom, gratitude, celebrator, awesome. So all these different parts of the self.
Yeah, and so it's amazing because once you understand them, and you have you understand them, then you can have some gratitude for them and empathy for them and not allow them to control you, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I love, because it's a strategy to be able to control your mind. And that's what leads to all success, which for you was why it was so hard to monetize, because you were trying to sell the voice work, not a result. And people don't understand what it is, and they can't see the value. Yeah. So we applied it to a group of people that you love to help, which is creative entrepreneurs, and being able to use that voice work to get through, because they understand it, they love the creativity, you love them and love helping them because you get them, because you are them, and be able to help them through it, which is awesome. So tangibilizing that niche was what really made a difference to be able to actually, because for them it's worth well over 4K, because once they do it, the results they get, like if someone, no mindset versus solid mindset is the difference between debt and a $500,000 a year business. So it's the most important thing. Yeah. And so we just channeled the ingredients of what Tali offers in a profitable niche. So I just wanted to mention that, because what you do is awesome. It's amazing. And it's so unique as well, but it's so effective. I fucking love it. So no worries. Thank you. So let's go into the depth of the freak out at the start. What were you actually feeling when you jumped into this process? You're like, shit, my finances are a wreck. Like, you had to go through freak out, and then understanding your finances were going to go even further backwards before they went forwards.
Just not knowing how I was going to pay back my family and people that one of my biggest wins was paying back my grandmother money that I borrowed from her to pay the deposit for this program, and literally a few weeks later she wasn't even expecting me to pay her back that quickly, and we were like crying, and I handed back the envelope, and I was like, I had no idea how I was going to do it, but so to be able to, it was amazing. But definitely the freak out around money, around allowing myself to go beyond my comfort zone. So I've reached a certain amount of people, of friends, like I've got quite a little bit of a following, but to expand that.
Your shit's pretty contagious.
Thanks.
Like, it's pretty hard to not want to at least check out what's going on with it.
But to allow that to grow to another level, like that for me has been my edge to, that's what I wanted to stretch myself with, to go to another level beyond my own comfort zone, not other people's comfort zones. They're like, wow, it's so good you're making videos. Like, really stretch.
Yeah, which you've done so well. Because the videos that Tali's done has really put herself out there. They're not just like hey guys, you should learn about this, and here's point 1, 2, and 3. It's like really creative, like really expressing what you do. The reason I wanted for Tali to talk about that freak out and overwhelm, because I know that you're most likely going through the same thing. I did as well, but it's easy to look at people who are successful now and just think they never went through that, which is bullshit, because everyone does. For me, I was fucking freaking like crazy when I invested in the 50K program, because the only way I could make it work was by tackling the things that scared me more than anything in the world. So not only was I scared about finances, but I was scared about public like judgment, and the way that I got my clients through the door was by running seminars, which for me at that stage was like, I'm gonna run a seminar, like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it was just ridiculously outside my comfort zone. So I ran 12 in 10 weeks because I had to. So it wasn't necessarily just a freak out from the finances, it was a freak out knowing I was gonna have to tackle everything that I was fucking petrified of doing. And that for me was really scary. And I know like where you are, like this is, we're talking about results that you've gotten from making sales into a 4K program by doing marketing and getting people in your network around it and all that stuff, which can sound so scary, but it's not like for you it's just easy. Like you freaked out like crazy, I freaked out like crazy, everyone does, and you will be, and you'll have to get through that because you're a coach and a role model, and that's what a role model does and makes the calls that other people aren't willing to show people what's possible, but you can do it because we could do it.
And I remember sitting on that side of it and watching case studies and testimonials, and I had this hope maybe I can do that. So to be on the other side of it now is like mind blowing, but I remember being on that side of it and freaking out and going, I want to be there. And it's up to me to make it happen, but get the support and have the accountability to do that.
Because we were talking about this just before, where it was like when you came in for the first day and you said to Ali, who's my sister and our office manager, going through some admin and logistics things, saying like, my goal is to do this.
Yeah.
It's been like 6 or 8 weeks or whatever it is. And you're like, oh, I want to do it in 12 months. But things happen way quicker with the initial growth, because it's not hard to get initial growth. It's not that hard to make 7 sales from a time investment point on those calls. It's not like you had to do 1 million sales or like 1,000 sales, 7 sales. And that's 28K.
I haven't even had that many leads. Like the people that I've spoken to, like the majority of them have booked into the program and seen their results and how it's changing their lives. It's just the confidence has just grown so much. It's amazing.
So for me as well, because at the start I was talking to Tali about it, I wasn't generating Facebook leads to start our business. Everything was manual networking, like organizing people to help fill a room for me, messaging people online, like connecting and inviting them to my seminars, like ringing them, getting friends to bring people. Like it was manual as hell to get my first 50 clients through the door, and it took me ages to figure out Facebook ads. And we'd hit 7 figures before we had 1,000 likes on our page.
Wow.
So like you don't have to have a lot to do a lot. You just have to have a program that delivers a lot, because that way you're going to receive a lot for giving a lot. And it's not just about massive volume of little impact. As a coach, it's about saying like, I'm here to really change lives, and I'm going to channel everything to make sure that my program's phenomenal, so I get rewarded premium for the awesome outcomes I deliver, not just delivering little shitty things. You don't need huge numbers. That's the bottom line. That's why people, when you look at all the case studies, because there's lots of them, looking through going, whoa. It's not like they had to do crazy massive things to do it. Like 0 to 35Ks in 3 weeks, that's 7 5K sales, 7 sales. Like it's, again, you 28K, 7 sales. It's not like a ridiculous number.
I think it's also that consistency with pushing through the fear and like, if you take the leap of faith in the beginning of the program to do it, it's like that would continue. It's not like that stops. It like things keep coming up. Oh my God, I have to call it a lead that I've never spoken to before. That's really scary. And it's like just having the will and doing the morning ritual that like implement, like it just,
For me, the thing that made the change was at the start, because when I invested in the 50K program, seeing people that I would consider, without being ego, that I had more experience and more skills, seeing other people get better results and seeing them do it and then go, if they can do it, then I can do it. And like taking inspiration from that. And for me, that like really opened my mind to go, I can do this, like I really can. And having that support of other people doing it as well took the pressure off, because I was smart enough to know that I wasn't, or like, I was aware enough to know that I wasn't like smart enough to do it by myself, or I wasn't capable enough to do it by myself. Like, I did it by myself, like I did it, but I knew that if I didn't have that pressure, that I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I knew in my head it was like a 3 to 5 year thing by myself, or like a 1, 2, 3 week thing, or like a massive like pain in the short term. It was like, stuff it, I'm willing to go through that pain because this means too much. And that was like the flip for me.
And the support in the Facebook group as well, like all the other people who are doing the program, like having their support, and Scott, like just massive legend, like just so many people. I imagine
because I knew that for you it was like a massive
it's just
support,
like I remember at the retreat, like I had to go like in between the retreat, go and do my kids' parties and the job that I just was so frustrated, like I was so in struggle town. I remember like having to call someone and freaking out about like and Scott like just sat me down, we had a chat, and Louise and like Rachel, just all these people who were just like a few steps ahead were like, it's okay, you can do this. And it's just having so that support as well of other people who are journeying alongside of you has just been life-changing.
Because it shows you, it's just good, because what happens is when someone goes to do something big like this, usually everyone around them aren't doing it. And that's why it feels like such a big deal, because it's so different to the norm. Like taking and making a big investment, everyone in your life's telling you you're crazy, like what the fuck are you doing, blah, blah, blah. But it's like when you step into a place where everyone's doing it, and for them it's just standard and there's so much more ahead, you're kind of like, oh, what the fuck I was like complaining about. And that environment creates so much extra belief and certainty, which I needed. That's why I was invested in like a 50K program, 125K, 40K program, all at once at the start. Just like the 40K program was just like being in a room 3 times a year with 10 people doing 7 figures. So I was paying like what, $14,000 to be one day in a room with people doing $1 million, because I built connections and networked from that, and naturally it pulled me forwards to 7 figures and beyond easily. Didn't even have to work hard. Like, it's not like I learnt to generate leads and I paid 40K to do that and that drove the growth, and I had to put all this effort in just by being around people that are already doing it. You just do what you're going to do anyway and just be around it, and naturally you're pulled up, because naturally your standards are stronger. Naturally you find the same things easier, because it's not hard. If you think it's hard, but when you're around people that think it's easy, then you think it's easy, so it's not a struggle. I think that's really important. Awesome. So Tali, we've nailed this so far. What I want to do is just like acknowledge you, because I was speaking to Tali before about right now at this exact spot, even though it's early on in the journey, it's going to be the transformation that means the most to you. Because for me, I'm always getting extra growth, and like we'll hit 8 figures this year, which is awesome. Like we'll have 43 staff at the end of this year. What the fuck? And then next year we'll hit 90. Like, it's just all this extra growth is just always happening with all these extra big wins. But nothing meant more to me than my first 5 sales. Like, nothing meant more to me than like the initial alleviation of financial stress when I broke through at the start. Like the feeling of like elation and excitement and holy shit, this is possible and it's real and I'm doing it. Like, it's just nothing ever will excite me on the same level as that, because it all of a sudden my whole dream became a reality. And it's like, it's easy to take that for granted. I was telling you that like I've taken it for granted at times, but that perspective of remembering, if we go back 5 years, even you guys right now, if you went back 5 years and went, now I'm someone that knows that I'm going to spend the rest of my life being a coach, that's ridiculous. Because there was a time where you struggled so much in your own life to be able to even survive and get by. And now all of a sudden you know that you're good enough to be able to help other people. That's ridiculous. Let alone like the growth that you've had so far, where now like finances are not really a massive issue, and you went shopping today and celebrating, like took time for you, which is like fucking awesome. And to me, that's like the most exciting times when I see clients like that, because I remember the feelings for me when I went through the same things. So yeah, that's all the fucking things.
I think it's like actually like going back to the basics, like actually sitting with someone and knowing that you're making a difference, changing their life, and like or seeing them get up on stage at the end, or they've launched their business, or it's like there's no greater feeling for me than feeling.
That's why
like,
I'm smiling so much.
Like there's just no greater feeling than going like, but that you gave it to yourself first and foremost. Like that you trusted and believed in yourself to go, I'm going to change my life by putting these things in place, and then like just spreading that and sharing that, and then watching the ripple effect, and like there's no great. I'm seeing that sign now, double happiness.
Well, I was actually seeing Guy like scooting on Ben's skateboard with his board. It's like a $2,500 skateboard. And Ben's in the program and he was living out of his van before. And it's been like a few weeks in his skateboard. He's just cruising past it. Anyway, what one piece of advice to wrap up what's been an awesome, fun interview and really valuable for the guys watching to be able to understand what it really takes to be able to get these results? Because you can do it, we know that. What's one kind of piece of advice you'd leave with these guys that you think will really make the big difference for them to be able to get results themselves? Like if you like heart to heart with them, can give them some advice knowing that they're where you were to be able to get results, like what advice would you give them?
It's a choice. It's a choice how you want to live your life. If you want to take the path that is to not be in the fullest version of yourself, it's your choice. Or if you want to choose to live a life that you're making a difference in the world, that you are living at the fullest potential of what you came here to be, it's like all you have to do is choose it. All the rest will come. You will create and manifest, and like the clarity will come, like, but it's literally just choosing it. Like, just take the leap of faith. Just go. Because you actually, your mind doesn't even allow yourself to see how big it, like your life can be.
Yeah, certainly hasn't for me.
It's so limited. So all the fear, all the voices that you have, like, it's like, just come back into your heart. If you feel a soul calling to come and do this work, like, just do it. Just choose it. And the rest will follow.
You've lived that with everything, which is why I admire you so much.
Thanks.
Which is why you will be successful, like for what you can't even see right now on the level that you can't even see right now. Like me, like I couldn't see 90 staff in 2018. Like I was just trying to fucking make the business work.
Yeah.
And it's like there's so what you can't even see will happen, and I know it will happen because you're willing to make those calls and back yourself. Because you only make that call because fear, when I came to this realization recently, it was really profound that people don't do fear tasks under the premise that they don't think they can handle the consequences, good or bad, of doing that task. You knew coming to this process, you could handle it because you saw other people doing it. You're like, I'm strong enough to handle it. And if you know that you've got a soul calling, whether you like it or not, you have to be able to handle it because it's not about you, it's about them. I think that's such a...
And just diving into the unknown as well. Like when I did my one-woman show, I had no idea how to do it. I had no idea how... I thought maybe 3 people will come, like, and all of it sold out. It's like, you can't even, your mind can't even comprehend, but when you just follow, like literally like follow what you love. If you love like helping people and like feel that you've got a gift to offer, it's like, surround yourself with I have it in my toilet, surround yourself with the dreamers and believers and the doers. I like look at that every time.
When you're in the toilet.
Yeah, I get so inspired when I'm in the toilet.
It's a time to maximize.
It's like really,
well done.
I get some of the best ideas in the bathroom.
This is what a way to wrap up this interview. Forever known as the toilet inspiration. That's so awesome. But it's true though. Like, it's a common thing to put.
Surround yourself with the dreamers and believers and the doers.
Fuck yeah.
And that's what's here at Winning International for sure.
Thank you for that little plug. Really appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks for changing my life.
Thank you for being here and doing this interview. Love you. Awesome, guys. How cool was that? And what an amazing human being Tali is. So much love, so much heart, so much fun, and she really rocks out at what she does. So it's really cool, but what I was really interested in was to see how it was really her mindset that made the big switch. But on the same token, there's so many strategic things that we put in place that enabled her mindset to be channeled towards getting results. So it was the strategy that made the difference. And if you're kind of sitting here going, this is awesome, I want to emulate similar results, then what you can do is go below, and I want you to do that now, put your details in, and you'll chat with either myself or one of our team through what I call the coaching business overhaul process, where you get access to a bunch of value that we don't have out there publicly that will take you through and teach you how to market, how to sell, how to structure your programs, and what it's going to take. And throughout that process, that'll help you get clarity around exactly what you need to do to get to 7 figures, or myself, one of the two, either myself or one of our team, one of our head coaches. So if that's kind of you and you're like, that sounds awesome, I want to be able to do this, go boy, put your details in. And our goal for doing this is to provide so much value, so many breakthroughs internally for you that you're like, these guys are awesome, how do we work with them? And if we can get that, because it happens all the time, we get people, we set them up so clearly and create so many breakthroughs, they're like, this is amazing, how do we work with you? That's our goal. So if you kind of sound like you're thinking going, this is awesome, I want to get that restructure, I want to have clarity in what's going to get me to 7 figures, then go boy, put your details in, and I'll speak to you guys soon.